So let's get going. So I'm just going to give you guys a brief introduction about myself. So I'm a lifestyle transformational coach, also a health coach, a relationship and marriage mentor. And I'm also a law of attraction mentor as well. I'm a life coach as well. So that's why I am a lifestyle transformational coach. So one thing that I really love to do, I think one of my greatest passion is actually giving to others in form of charity. I really love doing charity work. I love giving to others because in the world, there's a lot of people that are less privileged and they need people to help them out. So that's something that I'm really, really big on. Like if you probably check my WhatsApp profile, you probably see a little bit of that as well. So that's what I'm big on. I love to give to others. So that's one of my passion. And also what I'm doing right now is also giving to others. So what I'll be sharing with you is going to be my experience, like everything I know, how you can become a better version of yourself. So it's going to come all the way from my experience, my knowledge base, like everything I know. So this is a passion of mine, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing today. I thought it would be a good idea if we have a weekly meeting and a group where I'm going to be sharing a lot, and also in the webinars where I'm going to be sharing a lot. But as you can understand, it's not a day journey. So it's not going to happen in a day. Like it's impossible to do everything in a day. So we have to break it down into weekly meetings. We have to meet once in a week. We have to take actions, very important to take action. So that's pretty much, like a basic intro about myself. And also, I just want you to know that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So, and as we go along today, you're going to actually understand what I mean by how you do one thing is how you do everything. So let's get going. So I came up with this because a lot of people, they don't actually realize that. So people think that opportunities are limited, but they're not. So I want you to know that everybody can fly without crashing into each other. Like you can achieve, whatever you want to achieve in life without, crashing. As a matter of fact, you can be doing the same thing as another person, and both of you can actually triumph in doing that. A lot of people think, no, if everybody else is doing what they're doing, they're not gonna make it. And I want to show you something that's, that it is phenomenal, and you guys gonna see what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna show you something right here. So what you're looking at right now is like aircraft flying all over the world. Like and you can see they're all flying and none of them is crashing into each other. That's why I came up with the fact that everybody can fly without crashing into each other. Now, if you zoom in, if I continue to zoom in, then you see what I'm talking about. You see, like the playing field is big. You can see like all the aircraft, like they're all flying, but I zoomed in right now, but if I zoom out of it, it looks so many. Like you can see that. I hope you guys can see my screen, so you can see that. And this is Europe. Now let's go to North America. You can see like the Atlantic Ocean. You can see all the aircrafts flying. You can see all of that. So this is North America, and this is United States and Canada. And let the page load up a little bit. Wow, look at that, guys. All the aircrafts right now. You guys can actually visit this website yourself. If you have any family members traveling, type in the aircraft detail, like I think the plane number or something like that, something like this, JBU 1031. It would be on their ticket, right? So if you have any family member traveling around the globe right now, type it in. You're gonna see the airplane flying. This is the United States. Look at all the aircrafts flying at the same time. So this is the aircrafts flying in Canada right now. You can see, and like I told you, if I zoom in, look, you can see like each detail, like because you're looking globally, looks like it's all crammed up, but no. Like for example, that's a small plane. So if you click on the details, you can actually see where it's flying from. So why am I saying this? I just want you to know that Everybody can fly without crashing into each other if we all apply common sense. We use our brain. We're not greedy. We're not envious of each other. We can all fly. Like we can all fly. And now, if I zoom in, like globally, you can see all the information. So just want you to know that if these airplanes can actually be flying without crashing into each other, then definitely we as humans, we can triumph, we can achieve whatever we want to achieve, we can do whatever we want to do without actually crashing into each other. So I hope you understand that little bit of analogy. So we can move on. So that's why I came up with the idea that everybody can fly, without crashing into each other. We just have to respect, love, and be willing to focus and do our own bit, right? So today we're gonna be talking about discovering who you are. So like I said, our journey together is a lifetime journey. So as we're about to, and also we're gonna be uncovering a lot and a lot of things we're going to be talking about. But today, we're just going to go quickly talk about discovering who you are. So that's the basic. So if you want to become a better version of yourself, it's very important that you actually know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you're probably living somebody else's life. That's a fact. If you don't know why you're here on this planet right now, you're probably living another person's life. So we don't want to do that. So we want to discover who we are. And like I said, in our journey together, it's going to be a lifetime journey because you cannot learn everything in a year. You could have learned everything in 10 years. But the only thing I can tell you is that where you're going to be in a year from today will not be where you are today. With all the information and the action plans that we're going to be taking and going through, where you are today is not going to be where you will be in a year from now. And where you will be in a year from now is not where you're going to be in 5 years from now and 10 years from now, even though you're still learning. But you're going to see changes, you're going to see improvements, you're going to see massive changes in your life. And as we go along, I'm going to be bringing someone in. So he's also a mentee of mine as well. So, and he's going to share his experience, his journey with me, his achievement and everything. He's going to share that with me, with you guys. So I'm going to bring him on board. So let's move on. We're going to be talking about health, wealth, relationship, your life purpose, or your calling, or spirituality. This is what I call the wheel of life. So this actually ties up to our happiness in life. For example, if you're unhealthy, you're most likely to be unhappy. And if you're poor and broke, you're also most likely to be unhappy. So our key subject areas will be health, wealth, relationship, life purpose, or your calling, and spirituality. And you will sooner or later understand that how you do one thing is how you do everything. For example, your approach or your attitude towards money is the same approach or attitude towards your relationships or even your health. You probably don't know that, but that's how it is. We will obviously break down deeper into other subjects as well, and this will be subject areas that leads to aspects of our lives that leads to our happiness. For example, like I said, a broke father, if a father does not have money, he cannot pay his child's school fees, and obviously he cannot provide for his family. So obviously he's most likely to be unhappy in a way, right? An unhealthy body is deprived of a healthy life and unable to do so many things others are doing in life. For example, being unhealthy can affect a man's sexual performance, if you guys don't know that. So a lot of men have that issue. So we're going to talk about the industrial age versus the information age and how it results in global mass unemployment today. So you guys probably don't know there is a global mass unemployment all over the world for a lot of people. So if you actually go online and search, you would see and this is as a result of people not understanding that we're in the information age right now. So we already passed in industrial age, so we're now in the information age. So we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to see how it leads to a mass global unemployment. So let's enjoy our journey together. as you're about to become a better version of yourself. So today we will today is going to be about the basics of self-discovery. But as we move along, we dive deeper into self-discovery. For example, finding your purpose in life is a key area of self-discovery. So you're going to understand all of that as well. Yeah, so this is something I do tell people a lot. Like, you can have all the knowledge in the world. You see, you can have all the knowledge, but knowledge without action is powerless. It's useless. Before I dive in, let me, like I said, I want to clear this out. So people say information is power, right? Well, I'm going to tell you right now that knowledge without action is powerless. And I'm going to repeat this so that it can actually sink in. Knowledge without action, taking action is powerless. You can have for example, you can have a recipe to make the most delicious cake in the world, but without baking the cake, taking the action, the recipe you have in your in your knowledge bank is rendered useless. It's meaningless. So in our journey together, you will be urged to take action after every teaching, because it is in the action that you take that you will get the results that you desire. So not just the information that you soak in, but actually the action that you take. So if you take no action, you're just soaking up the knowledge, is not going to result into anything. So it's very, very important. So knowledge is power, yes, but knowledge is power, but knowledge without action is useless. Always remember that. So today we want to talk about 15 self-discovery questions. I'm going to be sending you guys a PDF after this. You need to answer it. You don't need to send it back to me, but it's going to be something to help you, with the basics of discovering who you are, what you want to do with your life and all of that. So, how well do you know yourself? Probably not as well as you think, right? Some people think they know themselves, but maybe not. One of the best ways to learn about something is to ask questions. Very, very powerful. So when you ask questions, you learn about something. This method is especially convenient in this situation because you don't have to go looking for an expert to answer your questions. You can answer them for yourself. So for example, and it's so funny when you come across someone who is obese, like someone who's put on a lot of weight, they're fat, and you ask them, so what can you do to reduce weight? They will quickly tell you, oh, I probably need to do more exercise, or I need to eat less fat. They will tell you things like that, right? So that means most of the time we know the answers ourselves to whatever problem we're going through or whatever problem we're trying to solve. We know the answers ourselves, right? So very key. So why would you want to know more about yourself? Very, very important question. There are many benefits, including greater satisfaction with your life. You get to be satisfied when you know more about yourself. And as they say, the truth will set you free. So today, I want you to use these questions to learn more about yourself and live a more meaningful life and a happier life. What are the mistakes? So this is the first question. Like I said, I'm going to send you a PDF. It's for you to keep. You can keep. But something that I want you to always refer back to, because this is like a blueprint. So it's going to be like, okay, what are the mistakes I make? What are the mistakes I continue to make and why? So once you know the mistakes you continue to make and why, you can easily rectify it, right? So it is surprising how successful you can be without doing anything spectacular, provided you avoid repeating your mistakes. Wow. How do I distract myself? So how do you get distracted? Knowing how you distract yourself can make you more aware of when you're distracting yourself. Like I said, these are the basics like people take for granted, right? For example, I used to watch, like a lot of TV, but now I don't, because watching TV, listening to news, all the negativities, you're soaking them in. not only are they gonna have a negative effect on your life, but you're also wasting your time. I want you to remember that we all age daily. It doesn't matter what age you are today. Tomorrow you're a day older. Just like that, you waste your time. You end up not achieving anything in life, and before you know it, it's 10 years, it's 20 years, and you still a lot of people still pretty much in the same place that they are, right? So knowing how you distract yourself can make you more aware of when you're distracting yourself. So once again, I'm gonna be sending you the PDF. It's for you to keep, and it's also something for you to always refer back to. You have to go back to it, see what mistakes you're making and how you can rectify them. You can also take steps to avoid your distractions if you actually identify them, right? So what are my goals for the next month? Very important. A lot of people don't set goals for themselves. So, what are your goals for the next month? When you know your goals, you can effectively plan your day and ensure that you're making the right progress, right? So, for example, I'm going to use Breezy as an example because I've been mentoring him for a little while now. So, when we started this, one of his goals was to learn Spanish, right? So, he had to I think he downloaded an app to learn Spanish, and that is a goal. And after a month or two, he can now, understand Spanish and speak Spanish, right? So that is a goal. So what is your goal for the next month? Do you want to? So are you making $500 a month now? Do you want to make $510 next month? Do you want to make $550 next month? Do you want to make $1,000 next month? What is your goal? What are you gonna do? For example, someone said to me like some years ago, he was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna become a millionaire this year, like a millionaire in dollars." And I totally agree. Anyone can become a millionaire, but the question that I asked him was, "What are you gonna do to become a millionaire?" It's so easy to say, "I'm gonna become these, I'm gonna become that," but what are you gonna do? What are the sacrifices that you want to make, that is going to bring about the change? Let me tell you, you cannot achieve anything unless you put in the effort. You cannot achieve anything unless you sacrifice time. So you stop distracting yourself, watching TV, movies, and wasting your life away, right? So what are my goals for the next 10 years? Very crucial. I don't know what age you are today. You're probably like 20 years old, 25 years old, 30 years old. In 10 years from now, if you're 20, you're going to be 30. If you're 30, you're going to be 40. You're not going to have the same energy as much as you have today. So, what are my goals? What are your goals? What you want to achieve in the next 10 years? You want to be a doctor? You want to build a mansion? Whatever you want to do, write it down. When you write it down, it's easier for you to walk towards it. So write it down. So like I said, I'm going to be sharing this PDF with you guys after the webinar. So to know your 10-year goal, you need to think about your life and what you want. So what you want for your life? You want to be married in 10 years? You want to have kids? You want to have $1 million in your bank account? You want to have your own house? Write it down. What exactly do you want in 10 years from now? So to achieve a long-term goal, it is essential to mold your life around it. Very important to mold your life around it. So what do I like about my life? Wow, this is a very good question. What do you like about yourself? Answering this question makes you think about the good things in your life. So what is it you like about your life? Are you someone like, oh, I like myself because I am married. I like myself because I have kids. I like myself because I am ambitious. I like myself because I surround myself with good people, with good and positive people. I like myself because I'm open-minded. So what is it about you, about your life, that you actually like? So you write it down. So it also makes you grateful and allows you to attract more of those good things. Very, very important. If you're grateful about what you have today, you can attract even more of that. So what do I dislike about my life? Very important. What don't you like? Okay, oh, I drink, I smoke, I don't like it. I know I got my friends got me into it, but I don't like it. So what don't you like about your life? I'm just giving examples because I don't drink and I don't smoke, and I have never ever smoked in my life. Never. Even when I was growing up, like I have friends that would smoke, and I've never, held a cigarette even in my hand. So, but what don't you like? What is it about your life, that you don't like? You write it down. Knowing what you don't like puts you in a position to consider how to make your life better. Because when you know what you don't like, then you know you have to stop it. Well, you might not be able to stop it in a day, but it might take you a month. It depends on the habit, right? It might take you a week, it might take you a month, it might take you 6 months, it might take you a year. It depends. But you know you don't like it, and you know what causes it. So you know that you have to let go of it. So, what would I do if I weren't afraid? Another brilliant question. A lot of people are afraid. For example, a lot of people are afraid to do certain things in life. A lot of people are afraid to start a business because, oh, what if other people see me? Or a lot of people are afraid to go on camera, have a YouTube channel. Oh, I don't want people to see me. I don't want this. I don't want that. But the thing is, nobody cares. So what would I do if I weren't afraid? You learn what it is you really want to do by asking yourself this question. That's the bottom line of that question. So this is going to help you to learn what you really want to do when you ask this question. So what are the common characteristics of the last three people I dated? This might not be applicable to some people, and this might be applicable to you. So if it is applicable to you, then you obviously write it down. So what is your type? Is that a good type or a bad type? So what was your type? What type, like what do you like in people? Like, for example, do you like someone that is quiet and calm? Do you like someone that is loud? Do you like someone that is smart? Do you like someone that is what is your type? You have to is that a good type or a bad type? You write it down. What do you want to look for in your next partner? So obviously this is for you if this is applicable to you, but if it's not applicable to you, you can obviously skip these questions, but I'm still going to talk about them anyway. So what you want to look for in your next partner? So basically, do you want someone that is good looking? Do you want someone that is going to support your dreams and life? Do you want someone that you know that you're going to marry, and you want him to be a trustworthy person, a loyal person? So what do you want to look for in your next partner? So what would I change about my job? So right now, if you're working and you have a job, so what would you want to change about your job? So what you like and dislike about your job. So all of these questions, you have to write them down because they are leading you to discovering who you are. And that is how you start your life afresh. You gotta know who you are. So once you know who you are, then you're able to shape your life around all the things that you want to do. And by taking action, you can actually see yourself achieving this thing. So what can you do to make your job better? So if you have a job, what can you do to make your job better? Do you need to find a new position? Well, maybe you're underpaid right now. And if you're someone that wants to work, like you don't want to be an entrepreneur, do you want to find a new position? Or, when I was a child, what did I want to do when I grew up? This is another good one. Like a lot of us, when we were a child, we want to be a pilot, we want to be a doctor, we want to be, whatever it is, you want to be a lawyer, whatever it is you want to be, right? What was it like as a child when you were growing up? What inspires you? What do you want to do when you grow up? This is going to help you to discover a lot more about yourself. Have you lost sight of what mattered to you when you were younger? Like maybe you wanted to be a pilot and now you're older and you're working in the office. So who knows, have you lost sight of it? What really mattered to you? Could your earliest plans still be relevant to your life right now? So your earliest plans, will they still be relevant to your life? Like whatever you want to do as a youngster, as a child growing up, is it relevant right now? If it is, maybe it is something you can still go after, right? So what activity or subject makes me lose track of time while I'm doing it? So this is a very good question. For example, what do you do and then you lose track of time? That means you enjoy it. For example, if you love playing football and then you lose track of time, you enjoy doing that. If you um creating a YouTube content and then you lose track of time, maybe that's what you love to do. Do you love helping other people? Do you love healing? Whatever it is, what activity, or subject makes you lose track of time, that's going to help you to know more about yourself. So these are the activities you love to do, okay? And then you have to go after them. If you could turn one of these activities into a career, you'd probably enjoy your life more. Very, very important. So if I gave myself advice, what would it be? So if you want to advise yourself right now, what advice would you give yourself? Imagine someone just like yourself with the same life. So what would you tell them to do? Like I said earlier, most of the time we know the answers to whatever we're going through, but we just need that little bit of push. But you already know the answer. So the real trick is getting yourself to follow these advice. What have I what have I never done but would love to try? What a great question. Would you love to travel? Would you love to skydive? Like skydive? Would you love to swim? Would you love to play football? Would you love to cook a nice meal? Would what is it? What have you never done but you would love to try? Would you love to talk on the stage? Would you love to be a new person? Whatever it is, whatever it is. So this is a great way to add a little spice to your life. Like, would you love to, maybe as an adult, would you love to start wearing short knickers again and walking around the street and act like a kid? So these are questions that's going to help you to discover yourself. You eventually regret not trying the things that interested you. Yeah, that's true. So anything that actually interests you, you probably regret not trying them when you grow older. For example, a lot of people, when they grow older on their sick bed, they regret the things that they never did when they were younger. Some people wanted to be an entrepreneur, but they never got the courage to do that. So you will actually eventually regret it, not trying the things that you would love to do. Nobody cares. If you think about other people, um, then you're living your life for other people, but you should be living your life for yourself. What characteristics do I believe I lack, but what would I love to have? So, what are the things you lack, and what are the things you would love to have? So, whom do you admire and why? So, when you admire someone, it helps you to know what you would love to have, because you don't just admire someone, you admire someone for a reason. And you probably want to be like them. For example, if there is a speaker, you want to be like him. If someone is an actor and you're an upcoming, you've never even acted, but you really really like a movie actor, then that's someone you admire, and it's probably a reason for that. So you also want to be like them when you grow up. So how would your life be different if you had the same characteristics, right? So what the characteristics that you think you lack. So how would your life be different if you had these characteristics? Are this something you can learn? Are there something you can actually pay someone to teach you or mentor or something? So would it make a difference in your life? So all those questions. I think this is the last question. What do I worry about? What bothers you in life? Is there a lack of money? Is there a lack of good relationship? Is there a lack of good health? Is there a lack of your purpose, not knowing why you're here on this planet? So what do you worry about? So what are the sources of stress and concern in your life? So all of those things, you get to write them down. And you always have to go back to them because they're going to reveal a lot about you. What does this say about your life and yourself? Okay. Um, what can you do to reduce the anxiety in your life? Maybe you're someone that gets anxious a lot. Maybe you want to go out and kick football. Maybe you want to hang out with positive people, so you don't have to be you become less anxious, because obviously you're dealing with people. That's going to boost your level of happiness and all of that. So what can you do to reduce anxiety in your life? The more you know about yourself, the better you are able to manage yourself. And like I said, this is the basics. This is where we start. You cannot do anything without knowing yourself. Otherwise, you gotta believe in another man's life. You gotta believe in somebody else's life, and trust me, you don't want to do that. Discovering more about yourself also clarifies how you can bring greater joy and fulfillment into your life. If you haven't made an effort to study yourself, you don't know as much as about yourself as you could. So that could be a detriment to you. So you get to know more about yourself. So getting to know yourself better can pay big dividends. So this is where we're going to end today. So if you have any questions, also what I want to say is let your questions be related to what we talk about so we don't digress a lot. So next time we have a new topic, then your questions will be around about that topic. But if you want to ask a question and you're asking a question that is not tied to a self-discovery, then it's not really going to be helpful. So let's just remember that. Also, you can join us on Telegram at LT by SB. So if you just search Telegram LT by SB, is going to show the group, so you can join. You can contact us on WhatsApp. Those are the numbers. Just send a message on WhatsApp. And also, I want to encourage you to invite others to join in. So if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself. You can go ahead and ask your question, and then we get to take it from there. So just so you guys know, the action steps for this week would be for you to actually um, obtain the PDF and then answer all the questions. So very, very important. You obtain the PDF and answer all the questions. If you obtain the PDF and you don't answer the question, you just gather the knowledge, but you make it useless because you're not taking action. And I can tell you right now, if you don't take action, for example, if someone wants to become wealthy, right, what do they have to do? Let's say in terms of becoming an entrepreneur, because that's better than having a job, right? First, you have to become an entrepreneur, and then you have to do whatever it is whatever product or services you're rendering to people. You have to become good at that. But if you want to become wealthy in life, and then you're not an entrepreneur, you're not looking for a job, but you're just sitting there and saying, I'm gonna become wealthy. I'm gonna become wealthy. It's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna really, really encourage us that we take action all the time. So if we don't have any other question, we can continue in the group. Once again, invite others to join in. Let's learn, let's grow together, and
I have a question.
yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. Like part of those questions that you are meant to answer, there was one that said we should go back to what we wanted to do when we were younger. Okay, so my question is like this. As now we have grown, things have changed, circumstances have changed, we have to move on. Is it really necessary to go back to what we wanted to do when we were younger, or we should just move on forward like that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So the reason that question came out, I'm just going to go back to the question. So the reason this question is just to help you. So for example, if you as a child you wanted to be a pilot or whatever you want to be, maybe if you're still young and it's still a dream of yours, then you can still do that. But you don't absolutely have to go back and do the same thing. So it depends on the passion that you have towards doing that wish that you wanted to do as a child, but you don't actually have to go back. You can actually move on. For example, and this is a very good example, let's say a child wanted to be a footballer, right? But now they're at the age of 30 or 35, it's too late. They're not going to get any club, so they have to move on. So it all depends. Are you still within the age range where you can still achieve that? And also, do you still hold that passion? If you no longer hold the passion, you probably don't really want to do it again. You want to do something else. So that's a very good question. If it's no longer your passion and you probably past that age where you can still do that, you have to move on. You have to do something different. Something there's always so many things that we are passionate about. So it doesn't have to be whatever we wanted to do as a child. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Let me know if anybody else still has a question. If not, we round up for the day. Okay, folks, thanks for joining in today. If you have any question, drop it in the group and we will take it up from there. So have an awesome, lovely day and a lovely week ahead, folks. Thanks.